When you went on to maternity with your first child, did you have a sense then that you wanted an escape or wanted an exit from your current job?
Yeah, I think so. Partly because I just could see that. I mean, the way the agency world worked then, it's probably a bit different now. But we would, be there really late, doing pitches and working on new business and all that kind of stuff. And it was a very work hard, play hard. Very the agency was amazing that I was at for 12 years, but it was very everyone lived and breathed the agency. They all went out together. It just wasn't very productive for family life, really. And my husband's job at the time was quite inflexible in that he had to be in London 5 days a week. So something had to give. And I think, it just was all partly because it's what we both wanted was, I wanted to be more flexible and be at home a bit more. He earned more money, so it made more sense. There were lots of layers to the decision, but partly going back to my own upbringing, my mum was the flexible one. My dad went to work. I basically modelled what I grew up with.
Yeah, you almost don't need to have the conversation about it because it's just what you saw.
Yeah.
And that's something that is probably shifting.
Yes.
At the moment with the way that couples work and navigate that career versus family life. It was the same for me. I just assumed that, and I still do to a certain extent, I have to catch myself, just assume that if there's any issue that the flexibility, I'm the one that has to have the bouncy job. And it's definitely interesting, but you just sort of subliminally, you absorb all that stuff growing up and then you just replay it, even if it doesn't quite fit, it's just the natural thing.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that really did work for you.
Yeah. But I'm also really conscious that I'm not remodeling that back to my boys. And I think there are ways that, it's very hard to get around. But now I have the business and I am doing my own thing and I am successful. I'm very conscious that it doesn't seem that I'm doing what I do because it was an easy half job, if that makes sense. I really want to show them that you can be your own boss, you can make it work for you, and that daddy has a career and he's done it this way, but I have a career too, but it's done in my own way and it's as valuable as his job is.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll have seen you work really hard because, how old were they when you launched the PR set?
So it was 5 years ago. So about 7 and 5.
Okay,
yeah,
so
7 and 5.
Launching a business is bloody hard work. And getting established, those first 2-3 years when you go from nothing to something, they'll have seen that. And they'll see that you still work very hard now. And it's so often I think, I tell my kids certain things, but they're actually just going to watch me, not listen to a damn thing I say.
I think that the modelling and the watching is so, it's so important, isn't it? And for them, they won't really ever remember me having a employed job. This is what they've known me do for, most of their lifetime. And so, it's really important to me that they don't see it as a, mummy's got this little thing that she does.
Yeah. That's so often the assumption when you relate the role of mother to the role of work in general. Fortunately, it seems to kind of diminish the role of work to add motherhood into it. Like it's a compromise on work. And I get really cross about that because I just think mothers are the most time efficient people you could find. And their productivity levels are through the roof. And actually they're getting done in 4 hours what someone else in the office is getting done in 9 sometimes,
I remember distinctly going back after I had Freddie, my eldest, back to the office. And I remember saying to the MD, I was like, I cannot believe how much time we waste. And she said, you have to let them do it. For most people who don't have, the kind of the deadlines that you have as a mum, this is where they make their friends, they spend most of their, their life at this place, they need to enjoy being here. And it was a real lesson for me, because I was like, I really wanted to like be like, come on, everyone, just be more efficient.
Crack the whip.
Yeah, they weren't in the same space as me, and that was really important for me to respect that.